All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Satko here. Welcome back to the channel. Got a whole bunch of good crypto news stuff for you today. Just three articles to go over. Not that much news going on, or at least nothing cool anyway. Got my robe on. It's one of those lazy days, but let's just get right into it. Security researchers break Ledger wallets with a simple antenna. Radio antenna are the original networking technology, and researchers presenting in Berlin today showed how useful they are in hacking tools. The hardware researchers set out to find different kinds of vulnerabilities in the most popular hardware wallets used by cryptocurrency hodlers from Trezor and Ledger. They presented vulnerabilities in the supply chain, side channel attacks, and glitch attacks in the hardware wallets at the 35C3 conference. The three collaborators were located in Russia, Germany, and the US, so they conducted their investigations primarily over Telegram, and it took them 50,000 messages and 1,100 images to get all three attacks done. It's really a long time we spent looking at this. Simple antenna played a critical role in two most dramatic attacks, but for its part, Ledger does not find these demonstrations alarming. Anyone following these attacks needs to understand that both scenarios as portrayed are not practical in the real world and extremely unlikely. And they said that we stand by our products and are continually updating and implementing firmware countermeasures to ensure the highest standards of wallet integrity against hackers. So it's important to know that the hacks that took place on these hardware wallets were only physical attacks. So you would actually have to have somebody's hardware wallet in order to actually physically do this. You need the physical hardware wallet. This isn't sort of like an attack via software or anything like that. So with the supply chain, how easy is it to get access to a wallet before it reaches its final user? And it's not that hard, it turns out. Supply chain attacks are easy to perform, but they're hard to perform at scale. So Datko explained the makers of secure hardware primarily use stickers to ensure that no one has opened a box since it left a factory. But Datko found that it's very simple to open a sticker without breaking it or leaving residue using a blow dryer or a hot air gun. So all an attacker would need to do is get some wallets, tamper with them, and then get them back to a retailer. For example, someone might buy them at a store, tamper with them, and then put them back on the shelves. As an example, Ledger uses an on-device function to protect users against verifying bad transactions. If users assume their computer is compromised, the Ledger still requires the user to verify a transaction by pushing buttons on the Nano itself. And that way, if a bad transaction shows up, the user can just reject it. However, Datko found it was possible to pop open a Ledger and install an internal receiver that enabled tampering with this function. In fact, using an antenna, he could press the button for yes. This would allow him to authenticate a transaction made by a compromised computer. So as you can see, this would obviously be pretty hard to do. You'd have to tamper with the box in the store and take the sticker off, and then get the Ledger out, put an antenna inside of it, then put it back in the box, then put the sticker back on the box, wait for somebody to buy it, know which one that person bought, and then have to essentially follow them home, be within radio length, I suppose, and press the button for them. So way easier said than done. And then Thomas Roth demonstrated two side channel attacks, but the one against the Ledger Blue used an antenna to read the PIN of a device user. And Roth explained that they started by analyzing the hardware architecture of the Blue, and they noticed that there was a fairly long connection between the secure element and another processor. In other words, the wire that connected these two components was physically quite long, and due to the physical distance on the circuit board, on each of the sides, devices relatively to the large battery. So they looked to see if they could discern any kind of signal change when the device was interacted with, and they found a significant signal when the touchscreen was used to enter digits for the PIN. So they built a small robotic device to press a button over and over while the antenna listened and logged the data. And this was used to build up training data for artificial intelligence system to analyze. And they were able to get very high likelihood of identifying each digit on a PIN on the tested device, which would theoretically enable them to get close to a user and listen with an antenna to discern their code. And that said, they would still need to get their hands on the physical wallet to do anything with it. and this assumes that the user hadn't taken additional measures. So again, not easier said than done. So you could be outside somebody's house with an antenna in an FBI van, looking at their Trezor wallet. I figure all of this would be because you'd still need to get to the device to put this thing on it, and then have an antenna outside in an FBI van. So I figure, not that I'm like advocating this, but I figure it'd be easier just to kick their door in and punch them in the face and take all their money. Yes, actually, a lot easier than that. So all these hacks that have been going around with the Ledger, these are on basically every single crypto news website and Reddit, where security reachers break the Ledger wallets with a simple antenna. Not so simple, because you need to get these first, then put this device inside of it, and then like leave it for somebody so that and then just have to wait like outside their house for like God knows how long. Hopefully they're not a hodler, right? Hopefully they're not gonna like they're like, oh, I'm gonna put this away for 2 years and wait to see how much my Bitcoin is in 2 years, because you're gonna be waiting outside their house for a very, very long time. And then wait for them to the exact moment that they plug it into their computer and that they're trying to make a transaction, and then be able to steal their coin. So congratulations. And then hopefully they have a lot of Bitcoin, right? And it's not just somebody with like $88 in Bitcoin and they're like, oh, I'm going to buy something today with my $88 in Bitcoin, because you just totally wasted your time. So even like $1 million waiting around for like 2 years, I don't know. I don't even know if that's worth it. Like you'd be better off just like, I don't know, punching them in the face. This is terrible. So anyway, don't take this with, take it with a grain of salt, with this whole Ledger breaking thing, because you physically need the device in the first place. So next article we have is that PayPal has banned Hacker News website and froze all of their funds, and it's sort of outraging the crypto community, and everyone is saying, use Bitcoin. So at least one valid reason in a series of tweets, December 28th, officials reported that funds from all its corporate accounts with the money transmitter were no longer accessible. PayPal has permanently banned all of our accounts without mentioning any reason, and hold wallet funds wrongly for 180 days. So I don't know if that's permanent. I don't know why you'd say permanent if it's just 180 days. Not that 180 days is, something to scoff at, but either way. So, sorry, I'm not feeling all that amazing. My child was sick. And then, of course, if your child is sick, you're going to get sick 2 days later. Describing the situation as frustrating, the Hacker News also accused PayPal of failing to provide at least one valid reason. PayPal has often instigated funds blocking against corporate clients, including those involved in the cryptocurrency industry, without explanation. As Bitcoinist has reported, such blocks are part of the service terms of use, which include the caveat that users can be frozen out of their accounts without the company being required to explain why. So they said, instead of giving us a reason, says specific reasons for such a decision is proprietary and it's not released. Nice and centralized, huh, PayPal? Oh, you guys are so amazing. I mean, PayPal's kind of awesome, but not when they ban people for no reason. Plus, it's not just banning the Hacker News' money and how much money they're receiving and keeping their business going, but rather you're also banning the people that actually donated to them. So if I had donated $100 to the Hacker News or something like that, my $100 is now in limbo for a long time, and it doesn't actually get to support something that I want to support. So you're not only banning one person's money, but everybody that donated. So almost immediately after the Hacker News made public, Twitter commentators pointed in the direction of Bitcoin as an alternative, as if they wouldn't know that anyway. The event comes amid a progressively changing mood to centralize payment providers among tech circles. The same day, Time magazine had published a pro-Bitcoin article focusing on its use as a circumventive method, specifically highlighting PayPal's Venmo as an example of middlemen who could potentially censor, survey, and profit from customers. The backlash has extended beyond PayPal in recent months. In August, and on several occasions since crowdfunding platform Patreon blocked high-profile users and gave dubious reasons for doing so. Open sources alternatives have also targeted centralization within Bitcoin, such as BitPay, rapidly taking custom away from industry names such as BitPay and Coinbase, which have faced controversies on their own. So again, just send somebody Bitcoin. This whole PayPal thing, it's hard to say. I mean, PayPal's good. I've never had any trouble with PayPal, at least not in a long, long time. But it seems like if you're if you're running something called the Hacker News, you should already know about PayPal anyway, or rather crypto and Bitcoin. So, yeah, backlash lately against Patreon and PayPal, and I suppose they better watch themselves, because as a company like that, you need to sort of watch what you're doing when you have a competitor coming out like Bitcoin. NVIDIA faces class action lawsuit over losses after diminished mining GPU demand. Graphics GPU producer NVIDIA is facing a class action lawsuit over the losses reported by the company when lower crypto prices diminished demand for GPU miners. The complaint states that the company made false and misleading statements to the market. Namely, according to the announcement, NVIDIA touched its ability to monitor the cryptocurrency market and make rapid changes to its business as necessary. And any drop-off in demand for its GPUs amongst cryptocurrency miners would not negatively impact the company's business because of strong demand for GPUs in the gaming market. Oh, pardon me, ladies and gentlemen. But once again, NVIDIA, way out of touch. They just think, oh no, there's such a strong demand from gamers that we're going to be just fine. And yeah, you probably will be, but your stock is definitely going to go down, because it wasn't gamers that were buying every single graphics card off the shelf in Best Buy, Fry's Electronics, Amazon, Newegg, and everywhere else. It definitely wasn't gamers that are going out and buying 8 GPUs to do 8-way SLI. So NVIDIA was the worst performer in the S&P 500. The stock price fell by 54%, and my voice is rapidly declining. And so itchy, just makes me want to cough. Market cap of $131 billion. Bitcoin at 3,900, and dominance at 52%. So no change in the market. And I'm not even going to have time to shill my channel. Oh my, I'm just breaking down. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a short one, and hopefully I will kick it back up into whatever, first gear, I don't know, fourth gear, who knows. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and as usual, I will see you guys next time.